Welcome to AI Dispatch, your channel for the latest AI videos on YouTube. If you don't want to miss these updates, please like, subscribe, and share. Today's video comes from Latent Space. Joining us are Gabriella Corso and Jeremy Vulvin, co-founders of Boltz. They recount training their open source protein model with just one shot, performing what they call mid-run surgery while racing to create an alternative to the closed source AlphaFold 3. Their work demonstrates that designing new molecules requires far more than a single model. It demands a complete system, integrating generation, ranking, and lab validation. Here's their technical story. Behind one of the world's leading open source protein models lies a story that defies standard engineering practice. The creators revealed in an interview that they trained their large model exactly once. That represented their entire compute budget. During training, they encountered bugs continuously. They performed what they termed surgery in the middle, halting the run, implementing fixes, and relaunching without restarting from the beginning. They simply continued training while patching bugs incrementally. Their final acknowledgement, that model cannot be reproduced now. Its success was nearly miraculous. This high-stakes development occurred against the backdrop of a revolution initiated by AlphaFold 2. That model achieved a monumental leap in predicting single protein structures. Its capability stemmed from decoding evolutionary signals. By analyzing protein mutations across species, the model identified which regions were likely spatially proximate in three-dimensional space. It was a breakthrough. However, that did not represent complete resolution. When coevolutionary data is absent, model performance degrades significantly. This evolutionary information functions almost as a database lookup, providing the model with a substantial advantage. Equally significant is the distinction between structure prediction and the actual folding process. The models became exceptionally proficient at determining the final answer, the folded configuration, yet the journey, the complex pathway by which a protein transitions from a disordered chain to a structured state, remained mysterious. And that pathway, including intermediate states a protein might adopt, is essential for understanding diseases involving protein misfolding. This leads to one of the field's most unexpected observations. In an era dominated by ever-expanding language models, these advanced structural biology models are often remarkably compact, some containing well under 1 billion parameters. Nevertheless, their computational cost far exceeds that of massive LLMs. Rather than quadratic operations, they depend on cubic operations. This results from their highly specialized architecture, operating on amino acid pairs and employing what are termed triangular layers. This specialized inductive bias has consistently outperformed simple transformers, representing a rare instance where custom architecture still dominates. Then AlphaFold 3 arrived. It represented another massive advancement, unifying prediction of proteins, small molecules, RNA, and DNA within a single model. A crucial architectural shift involved transitioning from a regression problem, which predicts a single average answer, to a generative modeling problem. This permits the model to sample from a distribution of possible structures, which is essential for modeling dynamic systems lacking a single fixed configuration. AlphaFold 3, however, introduced a complication. Unlike its predecessor, it was not open sourced, it remained internal. This decision generated shockwaves throughout the research community and directly catalyzed creation of an open alternative, BoltzSwan. This is the origin of that chaotic one-shot training narrative. The team behind Boltz began in late May, and by November had released a competitive open source model. They trained on shared government clusters with runs interrupted for days at a time, forcing them to execute that mid-run surgery on the model. Predicting existing structures represented only the starting point. The subsequent frontier involved designing entirely new proteins. The Boltz team took their foundational models and fine-tuned them for design. They developed a diffusion model predicting both structure and amino acid sequence simultaneously. The mechanism is remarkably elegant. The model is supervised exclusively on predicting atomic structure. Because different amino acids possess different atomic compositions, the act of placing atoms also defines the sequence. This merges two complex tasks into a single, unified objective. A model, of course, is merely a model. The genuine test occurs in the laboratory. The Boltz team launched an extensive validation campaign, collaborating with over 25 academic and industry labs. They designed tens of thousands of new proteins and sent the most promising candidates for real-world testing. The outcomes were remarkable. In one experiment, they selected 9 protein targets the model had never encountered in a bound state. For 2/3 of these completely novel targets, They successfully designed nanomolar binders, molecules binding with strength, often required for therapeutics. Behind this lies an even more fundamental discovery. A central finding from their work directly challenges a widespread assumption. In their own words, confidence is not a good predictor of affinity. A model might exhibit high confidence in its prediction, yet that does not guarantee the molecule will bind strongly. The genuine determinant of success is generating a vast number of designs and then employing separate, highly accurate scoring and ranking models to identify the exceptional candidates. It transforms into a problem of sampling and scoring at scale. This realization led to creation of Boltz Lab. It is not merely a model on GitHub. It is a comprehensive platform designed to democratize this capability. It packages 3 challenging components. First, agentic design pipelines automating the complex search process. Second, a massive parallel GPU infrastructure capable of executing these searches at a scale and speed nearly impossible for individual users. They claim their small molecule screening pipeline runs 10 times faster on Boltz Lab than the open source version. Third, an accessible interface for scientists. The objective is to provide a chemist or biologist with the power of these models without requiring them to provision a single GPU. The analogy offered is that a surgeon does not want to design a scalpel. They simply want to purchase the best one. Here is the essential takeaway. The remarkable progress in designing new molecules is not attributable to a single magic model. It is a synthesis of specialized architectures, massive scale generative sampling, sophisticated ranking, and, most critically, rigorous real-world lab validation. And even with all these advances, there exists a crucial dose of reality. As the creators themselves state, the outputs of these models are not drugs. They are starting points in a long and complex development journey, a journey these new tools are finally enabling. If you're interested in the video featured in this episode, click the link below to watch the original.